Hello, Coach.
Hello.
We'll go ahead and get started. Jonathan Fagan.
Mavericks go to that zone with about 3.5 left in the third. How'd you like the way you handled it? And what does that say just about the execution down the stretch in general?
Yeah, I thought we handled it okay. We had a few loose possessions, a few possessions where we kind of just held it and stayed around the perimeter. And that's what the zone is trying to do, like take your rhythm out of the game, kind of make you stand around. We don't want the zone to slow us down, and it did for a couple possessions. But we made a couple plays. John made a pull-up against the zone. We moved it and just executed, like you said, a lot better. Once I called a timeout and got us a little bit more organized. But for us not to kind of freak out in the fourth quarter when we saw it, that shows growth. That shows a group of guys who really wanted to win. And I felt good kind of about the whole game, not just the fourth quarter, but our attention to detail and all of those things that we've been kind of loose going through these moments of fourth quarters and games where we have a good first quarter and maybe a bad third quarter or whatever. Tonight was a pretty complete game on both ends of the floor. I mean, to hold that team to 93 is a good defensive effort. So it wasn't just the execution on the offensive end. It was very much the execution on the defensive end.
Christy Rican.
Hey, Coach. In this tough season, how nice was it to see your guys out there having some fun, especially after that 7-point run that ended with the dunk? It seems like they were really just enjoying themselves. Is that, as a coach, is that nice to get to see them see some, I don't know, benefits of their hard work?
Yeah. I mean, we have a competitive group, and we have a group of guys who like each other. And yeah, down the stretch when we got that steal and the lob dunk to Christian, and you know, just kind of the way that we came together in the fourth quarter, it was good to see our guys in the huddle kind of talking about coverages and talking about everything but the referees and everything but the adversity that we were going through. Is much more of many more conversations of how can we finish this off? How can we do better? And to see the elation in the guys is gratifying, because they've been through a lot and we've been through a lot as a group. And, you know, we're starting to kind of get our team back healthy and seeing what we can be and what we can do.
Kelly Eco.
Coach, for someone like Kelly that's been there only a short amount of time, how do you quantify the impact he's had in such a short span? 18 rebounds tonight, just all over a great offensive game.
Yeah, he does whatever we need him to do. He was guarding Dorian Finney-Smith for a while. He was guarding Porzingis for a while. He was obviously defensive rebounding like crazy, even tough ones in a crowd. And he kind of just has that knack of doing what you need, whether it's, you know, first game when he made all those threes, or tonight when we needed him to really rebound. And he's definitely a very smart player. And when we are adjusting from one defense to the next, he's someone who helps everybody else get organized. Him and John mainly out there talking and getting everybody on the same page. And yeah, we obviously wouldn't have won the game without him and his contribution. But for 18 rebounds is really good stuff, because that means we were doing a good job defensively, so making them miss to where we could get somebody with 18 rebounds, and that's good stuff.
Adam Spaulding.
They seem to be targeting Kevin a lot defensively, especially in the fourth quarter. What does it say about him that he was able to, I guess, overcome a lot of that and make what might have been the biggest play of the game?
Yeah, it means a lot, and it's game by game. It's learning every minute that you can learn something. Every minute I can learn something about him. Every minute that he can learn something about the game. Every minute that he can learn something about matchups and all of those things. It's good. This team, Dallas, they do that at the end of games where they find a defender that they want to go at. They set the pick and roll, get the team to switch, and they try to kind of go at them. And KP held his own. He did a good job.
Is there anything that you learned about him just in that stretch and how he handled it?
Yeah, he's not afraid. I'm not sure that I learned that about him, but that was more confirmation that he's not afraid of that moment, and he's not going to back down in that situation.
Brian Beerfield.
Coach, earlier today, Raphael was on, he did an interview on the radio show, and he talked about how the narrative of tanking somehow has played its way into, to the Rockets, talking about the Rockets. Can you talk about how when you're in that locker room and you see those, your players competing, and when you see them competing like they did tonight, can you just, squash everything about when people say that you all are trying to tank for a draft pick?
Oh, yeah. I mean, staying up late watching film and having these guys come in for shoot around and grinding and fighting, and the disappointment that you feel after losses and the elation that you feel after wins. That's not even a thing at all. It's not. It's growth from this team. It's doing what we can to play well, and controlling what we can control. And I would say if you're really watching this team closely, you would understand that we are where we are mainly because of a lot of other things besides basketball, whether it's injuries or COVID or trades or whatever else. It's not a fact of guys not going out there and giving their all, or my coaching staff and I not giving our all, and we're trying to win every single game. I think you see that with the disappointment that our guys have, with the fight that they have, with my reaction to games and that sort of thing. So I don't even know if that needs to be squashed or not, because it's not even it's a non-issue.
Ollie Kompajani.
I know you've talked about Kelly a lot during his pairing with Christian Wood, but there's some of that offensively is about, how you can have both them playing screen and roll interchangeably. And if you have one guy taking away the big, you can kind of play 2-on-1 when teams are having to help as much as they are when they're rolling or pick and popping. I said that a lot tonight. Is that something that you're kind of seeing too, or kind of wanting to see more of?
Yeah, I mean, having one guy put pressure on the paint, have the other guy spaced, and a lot of times it's hard to, if we're doing it with either guy, the 5-man naturally on 99% of the teams is going to be a helper. And if we have situations where we're mixing it up, where the 5-man is a helper, now he's not a helper, now he's involved in the pick and roll, and now he's rotating. It really puts a 5-man in a bind when you have two guys who can really put pressure on the defense with their screen and roll and attack switches. We did that well tonight. I didn't think earlier games the switching kind of bothered us a little bit, and today we did a much better job against the switching with those two guys, because Kelly obviously can roll into the paint, and he made two great passes out of the post for 3-point shots, and then Christian can roll into the paint and we could throw it up to him and he goes and catches it and finishes. So they're different, but yeah, to your point, having those guys play off each other and putting X5 in a bind, it's good. It's good for our group, and it's important for those guys to learn how to play off each other in that way.
We'll take two more. Mark Berman.
Stephen, I apologize if you were asked something similar. I had to join late because what I'm doing at the office. But given what y'all been through, who y'all just beat, the fact that they're could be a playoff team here, how special is this win for you? Where does it stack up right now, given all that you've gone through?
It feels good. It's a good win for sure, because they're a good team. They were rolling. I think they're on a 5-game winning streak. they're obviously very well coached team, and they have a superstar and Luka, and KP is really good, and Tim Hardaway off the bench is, just really good and hard to stop. So to beat a quality team like that is it feels good. Definitely feels good. But as far as where it ranks, I don't really know. We don't have as many wins as I'd like, so I guess it feels better than losing. But it was a good win. It was a good quality win for us tonight.
And last question, Brian Bearfield.
Coach, what adjustments did you all make on Luka Doncic after he scored 11 points in the first quarter? He only scored 12 more the other 3.
Yeah, I mean, we're switching it up on Luka. That's the greatness of Luka Doncic, that you can't kind of do the same thing to him the whole game. We started the game blitzing, and then we went to switching, and then we went to showing, and then we went back to blitzing, and then we went to switching. And that's a credit to our guys, because they were on every adjustment that we made defensively. They were like the best that we've been all season as far as changing and implementing the change. And Luka missed some shots. He's been shooting the 3 very, very well before tonight, and he was only 1 for 9 tonight. So he missed some, but our game plan was to just mix it up on him. And the guys who guarded him, whether it's John or Jay Sean or Avery, did a good job defending him.
Thank you, Coach.